Hello and welcome to the 2024 edition of SporTview's preseason football special. I'm Jay Wyman, and this is 2024, the year of change. As you all know, I guess the elephant in the room is that Coach Kiley is no longer the coach here in Holliston after 21 very, very successful years. Coach Kiley and two of his assistants, Coach Athey and Coach Perry, have both moved on to, all three moved on to Franklin. And the idea there is that they really wanted to be challenged. You know, Coach Kiley is one of these guys. Some people avoid challenges and some people accept them. But Coach Kiley really invites challenge into his life. And he's wanted to find out if he can take a D1 team, to the Division I state title. I'm pretty sure he can, especially with those other two coaches he took with him. And so he's down there in Franklin, and he's hoping to take care of it over there and see if he can get that group onto the D1 championship. The other thing about Coach Kiley is that one of the things that I was really impressed with over his 21 years is his ability to get he and his team up for handling the highest of highs, like going to 4 Super Bowls, winning 3 of them, 2 of them back-to-back, and the lowest of lows, such as the tragic death of Timmy O'Connell and Joey Laracy, and he took his team through that, and that's a really tough thing to do, especially when you're dealing with teenagers, to be able to keep them focused and keep them alert and keep their eyes on the prize. So we will miss Coach Kiley and his staff. They were really good to us at HCAT, very, very good to me, and we really appreciate all they did to us. But as the saying goes, one door closes, another door opens. And so this year we're going to welcome new head coach Mike Yurof, and Mike and his staff. He's already had a couple scrimmages here. We'll get to talk to them about that a little bit today. But for now, we're going to take a break here, and then we'll come back with Coach Yurof and his captains. Okay, well, I'm here with the 3 captains. They're going to give you their names and the positions they play.
I'm Charlie Stott. I play offensive line and defensive line.
I'm Beadenkopf. I play linebacker and D-line.
I'm Caleb Greenberg. I play O-line and D-line.
Sounds good, guys. And one of the things we're kind of focusing on today is the changes that are here this year, with a lot of different changes. Of course, you guys getting a whole new group of players and a whole new coaching staff. And the coaching staff actually kind of came together late, around July, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So you guys as coaches, how is it different, as captains, how is it different this year for you guys when you held your practices and stuff together without a coaching staff?
I don't know. It felt a little weird at first because it didn't have much structure to it. It was kind of hard to get it started because you usually have some coaches there, and they it's easier for people to listen to a coach than maybe just a captain. But later on in the season, in the summer, I think people started to realize that it's just the same, and we still have to work as hard for the season to get ready.
Yep. Same thing, Lucas?
Yeah, like what Charlie said, we got the same guys around us, so it's going to be somewhat the same. Starting out when we didn't really have a full coaching staff, we just tried to keep the team camaraderie together, keep everyone close, and I think that was an important part of it. But also just staying in the weight room, keeping in good shape was important for us.
Good. Caleb?
Yeah, just the weight room was big for us in the off season because that was really the only thing we could do. Because we didn't really know what drills to do or anything because we ran out of them in a week.
Yeah.
So it was just the weight room was a big part of the off season. So.
Okay, a little different on the offense and defense this year. And talk a little bit about the offensive line, my big thing. I love the offensive line. How you guys coming together?
I think we still have a little ways to go. I think we're starting to put pieces together, but I think we still need a couple more practices to really kind of blend together. As you saw, in the scrimmage, a couple missed-up snaps, people stepping the wrong way. But I think we're building something great here, and I think we have a lot of good guys. It's just take a second to click. But I think once it does, we'll be set.
Is the offensive line play different? Are you doing anything different to scheme ways?
Right now we're still learning, learning all the plays. We're still putting plays in as we go. So we just focus on the basics. But really, Coach Yuro's kind of trying to play to our strengths, which we're used to. We pull a lot. We have fast guards usually. But it's really just communication and chemistry is all that's going to take. Zone and stuff, that's just chemistry, communication. So with that, I think we'll be fine.
Yep. So you still get the quick openers and stuff, and you'll get your backs through there that quickly. How about defense? Defense looked good against Natick and last night. Looked very, very good. How do you think that's coming together, especially the front seven?
I think the front seven's coming on pretty well. I think that's going to be, kind of strength of our team. We have a lot of guys, who've been starting for 2 years or so, or seniors on the team in that area, so a lot of experience there, and I think it's going to be good, provide good strength of our team.
Yeah, we have a really good defense this year. It's going to be super exciting. I just love being on that side of the ball. It's like the Punisher side.
Yeah. Rather hit than be hit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But we have a ton of great athletes. Our linebackers across the board are good. Our D-line across the board is great. Our corners are great. So everything's awesome this year for the defense, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Nice. And Caleb, you're still playing defense some too, right?
Yeah, I was playing D-line yesterday. I mean, secondary, they were tackling too. Usually secondary's known for being scared to hit, but I feel like we're the opposite, really. Everyone on the field is hitting. Everyone's swarming to the ball. I feel like that's a big part of defense. I feel like our defense is what's going to lead the team this year.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you, and especially the way they played last night against Franklin. That was really something. That's a good ball club over there, and I guess they're well coached, right? No, they're well coached. So it was good to see you guys do that. One last thing, we'll kind of wrap it up. Any particular games you're looking forward to this year?
I don't really have one game I'm looking forward to. I feel like every game you gotta bring the same energy, the same amount of excitement for. They're all just great games to have and play.
Yeah, so I'm with Charlie on that. At the same time, I am excited for our opener against Canton, and Hopkinton.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, a little rivalry, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hopkinton's always a fun game. I mean, obviously, we don't prioritize one game. We're not circling one game on the calendar, but we go week by week. But obviously, we're all looking forward to Ashland and Hopkinton.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old Ashland guy. I played against Holliston in 1967. That's how far back I go. So I'm glad to see the rivalries back and everything. And you do have a very tough beginning schedule. So I know you guys got to get going. Thank you so much for coming, and good luck. We're rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
sir.
care.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm here with new head coach Mike Yurof and his new freshman coach, Mike Mullen. Coach, welcome to Holliston.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to be here, Mike.
Thank you very much.
All right, you got a whole new staff. We're talking about a lot of changes that are happening this year at the football program. Why don't you talk a little bit about your staff?
Yeah.
And a little background on your own, too.
Sure. We had the mountain of a task to build an entire staff starting July 12th. So to come out and have a full staff, 4 freshman coaches, JV and varsity coaches as well, that was our biggest, kind of obstacle to overcome. We've done it with a lot of guys that I've known for 20 years, guys that then knew other guys. And we just tried to bring in guys that want to coach hard, fast, and really want to teach. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing, and the kids have to buy into it, but you have to be knowledgeable and you have to be a good teacher. And when I talk to every coach that's on board, that was the first thing I was doing, trying to assess them.
And that was quite a long process? Or?
Yeah, it took quite a bit. I immediately locked up a few guys I knew right away.
Yeah.
And then, we had to convince a couple of guys. Our defensive coordinator, Bob Conrad, great football mind, 20-plus years doing it, played in high school and college. And, he was the coordinator up until the end of July for an area high school. So to convince him to leave that high school and come here was, huge for us. And that goes for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
They gave up something, or they're driving close to an hour a day just to get here. But, they believe in the history here. They believe in what I think we're going to do. And, it all worked out. So we're pretty happy.
So we have Coach Conrad, and his son, is it Zach? Is he coaching too?
Yeah, his son, Zach. Zach played at Walpole. He played up at Plymouth State. He was a linebacker up there and defensive lineman. He'll be coaching our offensive line and linebackers as well. He'll be the JV defensive coordinator.
Good. And Mike, you're the head freshman coach?
Yes, sir.
And your staff?
We have Kenny McGuire, Kevin McShane, and Artie Barnes. 2 firefighters and a corrections officer, so we're in good shape there. I myself, I'm lucky enough to be here in Holliston the last 4 years working in the high school. I'm actually the business teacher right now as well.
Oh, nice. And your background?
Moved here from Colorado in 2020. Played high school out there at Chatfield Senior High, and then played semi-professionally at Metro State Denver.
What position did you play?
Receiver and safety.
there you go.
Yeah, so finding Mike in the building was huge. Right away when I got the job, they brought his name up to me. And, I talked to him for 5 minutes on the phone. I'm like, all right, this is great. Yeah. We have, just another presence in the building. The kids all respond well to him. And, frankly, Mike's here, with me because we need that feeder program. To build this program, it's not for tomorrow, it's for the next 10 years. So the freshmen are instrumental.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they've had with the football program. I was actually lucky enough when they came back and said, I coached Pop Warner, Ashland and Holliston had a team together back in the 70s. And I coached that team. And those kids on both teams, I think, ended up playing Super Bowls. And then it went away for a while. And then it came back, and of course, Coach Kiley coached on the original when it came back, and then got a lot of interest. But you're right, you got to build that. You got to get down there. And you're working with any of those coaches down there? Or?
Yeah, so we've reached out right away. I mean, obviously, with such a short amount of time before we even got to work here, it was very hard. But the youth program, we're practicing out here, and we're done with practice during the week. They're here all day Monday. And, we want it to just be one town program. Mm-hmm. And it's unbelievable the amount of support the youth coaches have shown me. They're coming up saying, Coach, show us what you do. We want to do what you do so the kids are prepared. So they also see this as a long-term fit, which is nice.
And you brought in Kevin Quinn is still with you, too, and he has a background in that, too, right?
Yes, so Kevin Quinn was, just a lifesaver staying here to help us because he knows everybody in town. He's worked with Coach Kiley. He's a lot of the things behind the scenes that need to get done, and then he's also coaching here whenever he can. Yeah.
And just speak for a minute on the transition. We talked a little bit about this over in Framingham, the transition with you and Coach Kiley.
Yeah, Coach Kiley and I actually talked during the interview process. I respect him. We had actually never met, but I obviously knew his name. I knew him through other coaches that I'm, close with. And I just wanted to know things about the town. And that really spawned kind of talks where I realized we're very similar. I want to know, how does a town react to football? What's the culture like? How hard can you coach the kids? Because it is a game where there really is only one way to do it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't play it hard, you won't win. And, if you aren't serious about learning and serious about practicing, you won't win. Nice. So, and, Coach reassured me, and he said, Mike, that's the only way we did it too.
Yeah, and if you not only don't win, you get hurt if you don't
that's
do
exactly
it
right.
Yeah. So, taking over, we scrimmage Natick, pretty good ball club, right? And scrimmage Franklin. I was joking around with the kids. I said, they're pretty well coached, aren't they? But I was very impressed with the scrimmage last night.
Yeah, I think, we kind of went into it saying we're not going to talk about, obviously, the dynamic of the scrimmage, right? They know about it. Everybody knows about it. We need to focus on what we're doing. Because I explained to the kids during the week even, I'm not playing in the game. Coach Kiley's not playing in the game. When you line up to run a play or you're on defense, neither of us have anything to do with that. You need to do what you're taught. You need to do it hard and fast, and things will work out the right way. And they, I think they listen to that. But I also think, they showed their grit. That's a lot of adversity last night for young guys, and they obviously played well.
That's really tough, pretty emotional thing for them too, and to kind of walk them through that and get them in there. That was really good. Mike, what do you think about the defense last night? I'm an offensive line guy and a defense guy, just so you know. I think I told you that before. How do you think they played last night?
Defense went out there ready to fight, ready to attack the ball and wherever it went, and we saw it today when we were looking at film.
Yeah, they really are good, and that speed at linebacker is going to really help you. I saw the only thing I saw last night, and we talked about this a little bit. I don't know if you guys watched our telecast at all, but I talked a little bit about the defense cleaning up once in a while, getting around the ends, holding the edge. But other than that, wow, I mean.
Yeah, they all know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We've got to have someone in every gap, and if you misstep or you do something wrong, it affects the guy next to you.
Yep.
And believe me, we've watched the film many times. We've watched it with the team. Yeah. We have a lot of things to work on. We did not play a perfect game by any means, but they played well enough to win, and that's really all we need to do.
Well, I was talking. You remember Tom Edmonds, who does a game with me. And I was talking to him last night, and I was mentioning on the telecast. I said, "Well, coach is going to be really pleased tonight." Tom said, Jay, he's a football coach. He's never going to be pleased.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the kids showed up, and I told him after the game, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you the same thing if we lose, so it's good we won. You got to move on tomorrow morning when you wake up. Mm-hmm. That's great, but we don't get points for last night going into next week.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So, and we did. We just watched film, and they were all smiles coming in, and then they all just realized how much work we still have to do. and that's part of it.
Yeah. One last question, Mike, to you. The numbers on the freshman team?
In total, like no number of players.
Yeah.
Right now we're at 19 players right now.
Oh
for
wow,
freshmen.
that's
Yes.
good. Yeah, that's good.
A lot of athletes.
Yeah. Well, it's a big sport in this town. It's kind of like the king of the town. You're not supposed to say that, I guess, but. Mike, thank you very much. Welcome again to
Yeah, I
Holliston.
appreciate it.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
happy. And Mike, it's great meeting
Pleasure
you.
to meet you. Thank you very
And we'll see a lot of. I'm really excited for this year. I really am. I
Yeah.
can't wait for the Canton game. You got kind of dealt a hand there with Canton and Middleborough and Milton and then Grafton. But,
Well, and then Grafton, yeah.
Grafton
We
too.
have our first 4 opponents could go deep into the playoffs, if not win in their division, the whole thing.
Right. And
Canton's a very big team. They're fast. They were a playoff team last year. They lost in the last seconds in the round they were in that they made it to. Middleborough's week 2. They were 8-3 last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's semifinalist. Week 3 is Milton, state champs.
yeah.
And week 4 is Grafton, and they're picked to win it. So we've got our work.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like to play? One last thing. The good thing about that is that you do get credit for who you play. The strength of schedule makes a big difference, and it's really helped us along the way.
That's exactly right. We can't get caught up in that. We need to just, again, get better every day. And it sounds cliche, but it's true. Play hard, play what we do, try to dictate. Those games are going to end up how they should end up, right? If you don't turn the ball over and you don't make, bad mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever we do in those games, that's great. Because when we get to league play, that's what we need to dominate.
Sounds great.
That's right.
Thank you again, guys. Really good. Finally, we get together and
I
do
know.
this. But Coach Mike Yurof and Coach Mike Mullen. Great to get to talk to the coaching staff and some of the players and get their input from where they look like they want to be this year and where they've gone so far this year, and a year that's of a little bit of transition for Holliston football. A couple other things I want to talk about, a couple other changes we're going to have to our staff up in the press box. Jack Harper, who is the field announcer, has left. He's retired, gone, I don't know, somewhere wherever Jack Harper goes. And he's replaced by our own Carlos Canto, who will now be doing the field announcing for the games here at the home field. And taking Carlos's place as a statistician is our own Tom Harmon, who's stepping up and doing that for us. So we got to keep that whole HCAT crew, all together and doing what we do best. And one last thing, I just want to kind of go over the schedule this year. Of course, we open this coming Friday at 6 p.m. here at Committee and Field with Canton. And then from there we go to Middleborough, which is a 7 p.m. game. That's on the 13th. Then there's a bye week on the 20th. And then the 27th, we go back down to Milton. Then on October 4th, 10-4, we go to Grafton comes here, and that's another 6 o'clock start. Then Dedham is here Thursday, October 10th. Then we're at Hopkinton on the 18th of October, at Ashland on the 25th of October. Norwood is here at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon on November 2nd. Then they get into the playoffs. And then, of course, Westwood is here on Thanksgiving morning. So you'll be able to catch all the action on Holliston Hub HCAT, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you. So I want to thank Lindsey Crane and Bruce Guilfoy for helping us out here today. Hope to see you all at the field next Friday night at 6 o'clock against Canton.